Just a little over a year ago, my page called Mindset Relentless had less than 50,000 followers. Right now, as I'm recording this video, I'm about to hit 1.3 million followers, and the page is growing 3,000 followers a day. And just a couple months ago, it even gained over 530,000 followers in just 3 months. And instead of this video, I'm gonna walk you through the exact 5-step process that everyone can implement without showing their faces online, without spending crazy money on marketing, and without shaking your ass on camera. And in case you're wondering who I even am and why you should listen to me, my name is Gosseling, and I've been running faceless Instagram pages for the last 2.5 years, and I have over 10 million followers across my pages in different niches. And I've also helped countless of my clients gain tons, if not millions of followers on their Instagram accounts without showing their faces. Let me take you back to the end of 2022, because that's the time when I first got in touch with faceless Instagram pages. At that time, I was still in university, working my part-time job at the local supermarket, making $5 an hour, so I know what it's like to be broke. And I was just looking for a way to make money, and I didn't have tons of money to save up that I could actually invest into a physical business, and I also didn't want to show myself and become some sort of a cringy influencer. So for me, the choice was obvious, because right now where attention goes, the money follows. So I knew that I had to create some sort of content and get attention so I could sell some sort of a service or a product to my audience. And that's when I found out about faceless Instagram pages, because back in the days when I was still in university, I was literally scrolling and watching content for over 6 hours a day and just basically wasting my time. So suddenly I realized, hey, I'm watching all this cool content. What if I actually create it myself? And now, I don't want you to think that instantly the first piece of content that I posted blew up and I started making a ton of money, because that was not the case. It took me 6 months to make my first money online and to even gain my first 1,000 followers. The thing is, back when I started out, I had no clue what I was doing. I was just reposting content and just doing whatever, hoping that something works without like a clear strategy. And that's why it took me so long to even get my first 1,000 followers and make my first money online. But it wasn't up until the point where I actively started analyzing other pages and started to notice a pattern. Because in order to grow a following these days, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and become the next Elon Musk to make money. You can just simply copy what works and twist it to your own style and actually build a profitable Instagram brand from that. And that's exactly what I did. After 6 months of hard work without barely any results, it finally clicked. One of my pages went from 0 to 100,000 followers in under a month. And because of that, I started to make my first couple $1,000s, which allowed me to quit my side job and go all in on Instagram. And the rest is history. Right now, I'm able to work from anywhere in the world. I'm going on a trip every single month. I recently bought my dream car and also helped some of my clients buy their own dream cars as well and live on their own terms. The cool thing about building a brand on social media especially is that you can completely outsource it and actually have time freedom to yourself. Because right now I automated my entire business, which allows me to make videos like this and educate you guys on this topic so you can also achieve the life of your dreams. Now, of course, the money side of things is really cool with this business, but what my favorite part is that you can actually create content that you like and you think is cool and inspire millions of people while making money along the way. So it's a super ethical business where you actually help people as well. But I've talked enough right now. Let's actually get into the 5-step system that you need in order to grow your Instagram page as fast as possible. Step number 1 is super simple, but I see that most people actually fail here. It is to just set up your page in the correct way. Now, first of all, it's super important that you find a niche and only stick to that, because if you post random content all the time, Instagram doesn't know who to target and who to push your content out to, which won't get you views. Right? This is super important. And you also gotta ask yourself the following question: what kind of content do I want to create and who do I want as my dream followers? Because if you don't know who you're even targeting, you're not gonna reach them, right? So don't just rely on luck and don't just post some random stuff. Have a clear strategy and know exactly what kind of content you want to post and who you want to have as your followers. For example, on my page Mindset Relentless that you can see on the screen right now, you can see that all the content is in the similar style and it's all motivation related, right? If you take a look at this reel, it's all the same style. So people can basically expect the kind of content that I'm gonna post on this page, which allows me to have really good engagement. And you can see that almost every single reel that I put out here gets over 100,000 views. And this is crucial. Now, step number 2 is to just find a unique content style. And this is different for everyone, because since I also have different pages, not the same content style works on all of my pages, right? So I have to find what works. And the only way to do this is to actively test. So try different fonts, try different hooks, and just see what keeps people engaged and what lets them stay on your page, and also just in general what gets you the most views, right? Because most likely the first type of content that you're gonna put out is not gonna do great, and the only way to improve it is by just testing, and keep posting, right? Because otherwise, if you don't know what's working, again, you're relying on luck. So you need to actively test for at least 1 to 2 weeks, try different captions, try different hooks, try different animations, etc. And after that, you can exactly see which one performs the best, and then you can double down on that. Because in the end, if you want to build a brand on social media, people need to recognize your content. And in order to get that done, you need to have a unique content style and actually have content that people know that is yours, right? Because if your content looks different all the time, people won't recognize it, right? And that's an issue, because then they don't remember your brand, and it's going to be harder for you to actually grow it. Okay, so here's another page that I own. It's called Opus Reality, and this is literally the prime example of how your content should be and how your branding should be, right? Because if you look at the reels over here, you can see that they're all in a similar style. You can see the TV border over here. You can see the kind of clips that I'm using. It's mainly like cartoon style, and because of my unique style, if I go to a reel, and if people see this, they instantly know, hey, it's Opus Reality. They know what kind of content I'm posting. They know the message that I have. And because of that, they actually watch the piece of content, which results in consistent views. Every single reel that I post gets at least 100,000 views. This one didn't get 100,000 because I posted it only 8 hours ago, but you see it, right? And in there, I also have a bunch of viral views, 1.7 million views over here, and 911,000 followers. You can literally see it there. This page will reach 1 million followers this year. And one page like this is all you need in order to live life on your own terms, literally. Okay, so step number 3 is very important, and this is actually where most people fail, and it's just to post relentlessly. You gotta post at least for 1 to 2 months straight, 1 to 2 times every single day. Because the thing is, if you post at random times and you don't post regularly, you post like once a week, chances of you going viral are gonna be very, very low. And it's crucial for you to get your first viral video within the first month, because then you can double down on it later down the line. And the thing is, you gotta basically see your piece of content as lottery tickets, right? Because if you post once a week, right, that's like 4 times a month, you have 4 lottery tickets. But if you post 2 times a day, that's 60 times a month, that's 60 lottery tickets that you have that can go viral and that can potentially change your life. Now, after you're posting for like 1 to 2 months, you gotta actually analyze what's working, what's not working, and you gotta cut out the pieces of content and the style that doesn't work. Because after, you've got your first viral videos, you see exactly what your audience actually wants, and then you need to only create that type of content and just simply double down on that so you can scale your page. Analyzing is probably one of the most underrated parts when it comes to actually growing your page, because I see a lot of people, they are just consistent for the sake of being consistent. Just posting 30 times per month, for example, like once a day, isn't enough. Like, you actually gotta analyze, hey, is this performing good? Cool, I'm gonna do more of it. Hey, this is performing a little bit less than usual. Cool, I'm gonna cut it out. And that's how you should go about it, because if every single video that you do becomes a little bit better and a little bit more targeted to the audience that you wanna reach, eventually you're gonna go viral time and time again. And that's exactly how I gained over 500,000 followers in less than 3 months. Step number 4 is literally the most important step that a lot of people don't know about, because if you want to make a lot of money from your Instagram page, you actually got to build a loyal fan base and actually make it a brand, right? Because think about all the big brands in the world that you know, McDonald's, Nike, Apple, etc. The reason why you know them is because they are everywhere. Billboards, commercials, social media, you name it, they are there. And that's also what you want to replicate for your own brand. You want to be more active on your feed, of course, post more posts and stories and reels, etc., right? But you also, for example, want to start a broadcast channel, send out daily messages over there. You want to build a newsletter and send out weekly emails to your audience. Or, for example, expand to platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube so people can recognize your brand everywhere. And that's very, very important. So that way you can actually stand out from all the other people that are not doing it and actually build a loyal fan base. And this is exactly what I've been doing. And for example, on my page Opus Reality, I also gained over 810,000 followers by just reposting my content on TikTok, which is making me a lot of money actually. But in the end, it just comes down to being seen, right? So expand to multiple platforms once you find your style and you're actively growing, so you can basically grow exponentially. Okay, step number 5, which is the last step, is to just simply scale. And this shouldn't be complicated. Right now, if you followed everything up until step 4, you have so much data that you can either double down on or get rid of, right? So get rid of posts that underperform and just simply focus on what actually works for your page. And the same goes with, for example, your emails. If you have a lot of emails that perform good, do more of those to promote your products and to scale your page. Also, maybe delegate your editing to get someone that can make better content than you, and just scale. That's literally it. Be seen more, right? Because that in the end is going to make you the most money. And if you have all the data, all you got to do is just focus on the right things and cut out all the things that hold you down. And this is exactly what I've done on Mindset Relentless, because for the first year, the page was barely growing, but I just kept going. I kept refining every single thing. And at one point, all the momentum just came together and exploded and resulted into 500,000 followers in 3 months, which is actually life-changing. So to just quickly summarize it for you, first of all, you gotta have the right foundation. Pick one niche, ask yourself, who do I want as my followers and what kind of content do I want to build an audience around, right? After that, you just test a bunch of different content styles to see which gets you the most engagement. Again, this is something that you have to test because it differs for every single page. After that, post consistently for 1 to 2 months straight. Every single post that you do is a lottery ticket that can change your life, right? So be consistent, please. After that, it's literally build your brand, right? So be seen more, expand to different platforms, build your newsletter, set up your broadcast channel, and just be seen by as much people as possible every single day and build that loyal audience. And after that, it's just simply scale, double down on what works, hire an editor that can make better videos than you. And that's literally all you need in order to gain tons, if not millions of followers. So this was it for the video. I hope I gave you some good insights on how you can actually grow your Instagram page. Now, if you would like to work directly together with me, down below this video, I have a link to my educational company called Growth Mastery, where you can see some more information about what I can actually provide for you and the client results we've gotten in the last couple of months. With that said, thank you for watching, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.